So what is the basic similarities, or you can say the distinguishing features happened? The two important revolutions happened in Russia, socialism, that is the February revolutions and October revolutions. So let us look into these points. So the February revolutions that happened in 1917. In the winter of 1917, conditions in Petrograd, remember the same area where the industrial pockets were established, were not that good. Food shortages were felt, right? There was a shortage of food grains. 1917, First World War still going on. Parliamentarians were opposed to dissolve Duma. Here Tsar wanted to dissolve the Duma. Duma is the parliament, okay? Parliament that established in Russia. But the Duma members they did not wanted to dissolve or to end the Duma. February 22nd. Things are going in a chronological order. Lockout at a factory on the right bank of the river Neva. Uh, In many factories, women led the strikes. Here, the strikes were happened. Strikes were very common, and riots were common because of this. Food shortages were felt during the World War, First World War, because all money, all finances was going towards supporting the war. Hence, the food shortages and food grains needs productions at home level were totally neglected. Now, if you see here, demonstrators walked to the center of the city Nevasky. Government imposed curfew. All the demonstrators or the protesters, you can say, or the revolutionaries, they walked towards the center of the city. The center of the city is Nevasky here. So, government started imposing curfew. 26th February came. In the streets of the left bank of the river Neva, on the right bank were Winter Palace. This river Neva is important because on the left side you have all the Protestants, all the revolutionaries who are assembled together, and on the right side they have a very special place or a good place, we would say, like Winter Palace and official buildings. All the official buildings and important places of the cities were situated on the right bank, on the right side of the river bank, the river Neva. Now 27th February, this damage, these protesters have started damaging the police headquarters. So this was all about the February revolution. Similarly, if we to look into the October revolutions, what had happened there? This revolution is the result between this result is it is the result between the conflict between this provisional governments and the Bolsheviks. Now, the Bolshevik is a party which was led by Vladimir Lenin, who was a socialist. Socialist means who wanted or who believed in the idea that let the wealth be distributed equally. Now, Bolsheviks in the army, Soviets. Here, Soviet means the councils or the military people who formed their own council. That is termed as Soviet here. So, Bolsheviks in the army, Soviets, and factories were brought together. Bolsheviks led them. What the Bolsheviks done, which were led by the Vladimir Lenin, he assembled all the Soviet and army people in the factory. Right now, 16th October 1917, the same year, Lenin persuaded the Petrograd Soviet and Bolshevik to power seizure. They planned to seize the power. They planned to take over the king. They planned to take over the power in their own hands so that they can run the country. A revolutionary committee was appointed under Leon Trotsky. The uprising began on October 24. Military men under Kerensky seized the buildings of two Bolshevik newspapers. Here, military men which were supporting the provisional government. See, October Revolution is a conflict between two people, two parties. You can say the one Bolshevik and the provisional government. Who was this provisional government? They are actually the Duma leaders. The same Duma leaders whose voice were neglected by Tsar. All right. Now they were supported by the military men who were leaded under Kerensky. Now the pro-government troops were sent to take over the phone, telegraph, to protect Winter Palace.